All right, I'm gonna make this video. It's midnight and I'm on a bike ride, and I'm gonna just talk about a couple of things. Maybe some of the things that occurred today. One is that I spent the morning at Bellingrath Gardens and had a great fasted, low intermittent, steady state cardio. Some other things that happened, touched base with some friends on the phone, drove on the beach. Let's see, what else did I do? Talked to my friend Brad, talked to my friend Adam, and I have a friend that passed away yesterday. His name was Wayne, and I'm not quite sure what happened with Mr. Wayne, but could have been one of a myriad of things. Could have been a behavioral lifestyle complication, could have been coronavirus, could have been an accident. I don't know yet. I haven't found out, but makes me sad. He was about my age, about 45, and even though I'm a hospice nurse and I see death and dying on a quite regular basis, most of my patients are old and have been suffering and are pretty far into disease process and that type of thing, and often they are just ready to no longer be suffering and have kind of somehow accepted end of life. And this to me is still an unanswered question on how this occurs, how this acceptance occurs, but I've seen it so often that I'm just kind of hoping that whenever it is my time, that I am peacefully accepting of whatever occurs, and that I just do it with grace, and that I am supported if it's any type of an extended deal. So that's what I kind of, part of what I do is just try and offer support and make the best a difficult situation. Some of the other things that I noticed today that I wanted to make mention of was, of course, one is it's midnight. I'm out here on this bicycle, and I try to, maybe not as regularly as I should, but especially during the summer when it's 85 degrees and perfect out here right now. I don't see a full moon, but it's still a fair amount of moonlight. I just saw a shooting star. I saw a couple of homeless people sleeping on the bridge in strategic places in the dark, which is a good way to get kind of run over by a bicyclist with poor light, but it is what it is. Some of the other things that I saw was I saw a couple of probably 18 to 20-year-old girls on the beach over there somewhere, and they were dancing with their I don't know, cell phones or something for light, and they were kind of almost like strobe lighting themselves dancing on the water's edge. So that was kind of cool because that's what women do. That's kind of the feminine nature, and they were out there moving and being women. So in contrast to that, when I was at Bellingrath this morning, as soon as I got there, there was a young man and his girlfriend. They were well dressed for young people. He looked like he may have had money or come from money or that kind of thing. Maybe almost like he was Arab, and the girl was as well, in a short black, almost mini skirt, maybe mid quad, but probably no older than 19. And there's a rose garden right when you first walk in with a huge fountain. And what happened was they were walking through, and they really didn't even acknowledge the beauty of the roses, which was kind of unfortunate how fast they went through. But at one point when they were passing the fountain, she said, "I'm going to sit down," and handed her phone to him and had him take a picture of her. So she's sitting on the fountain with her legs crossed and directing him and how to take the picture. And basically she was sitting there like this, just flicking him off, and until he took a couple of pictures, and then she got up and they walked off. So they were only in the rose garden for maybe a total of like 2 minutes, 90 seconds, something like that. And I just thought that was kind of unfortunate because, one, it's just so standard, you know. It's almost like the Instagram mentality of just the, you know, I understand that young people are going to, they're going to be rebellious, right? So to kind of dig deeper, like, what does it mean, all of this flicking off of other people? You know, is it like, are you just saying, like, what are you trying to say in that gesture, in that motion, and doing that thing that everybody else seems to be doing? All of these young girls seem to be like, you know, it's like, one thing is if you look on Facebook, you may see pictures of girls and they're like here to here, and you can scroll through all of their pictures, and every one of them might be like here, and then the next one, it might be a different background, same angle, you know, and it's just like their head is tilted, it's tilted up, and it's just like there's like 70 pictures of the exact same thing. And to me, that is a little bit of pathological. So anytime I see that, I mean, it's definitely a stamp of there is definitely something wrong here in Kansas, Toto. So that's kind of what I saw with this girl. And for one thing, I think that if you walk into a room of people and everybody's wearing jogging pants and tank tops, that if you're dressed nicely, you're going to stand out. If everybody is wearing suits, then maybe you should be casual. You know, do the opposite of what other people are doing. Everybody's sleeping right now. I'm out here on a bicycle, and I've got the philosophy of choose your wheels or they will be chosen for you. These are my wheels. I have skateboard in my car. You know, it's just like I choose these wheels for as long as I can. It's part of one of my life goals to be in as functional a body for as long as I can. And if you don't take action, if you don't take personal responsibility, if you arrogantly just think that you're going to have longevity and live a full lifespan of functional capacity without taking action and creating that, then that's just ignorant. So, you know, and then you still have to have fortune in order for that to occur. But at least put yourself in a position to maybe achieve that goal. So also with the girl doing this, I'll give you a second example. So my wife's youngest daughter, who is now 17, and just started driving her car and had her friend in the car. And we were pulling back into the neighborhood and they were pulling out of the neighborhood. So we passed each other at the stop sign. So I slowed down as I pulled in, and through her car window, she did this. So I didn't mention it to my wife. I didn't mention it to her initially. I didn't call her and freak out because I try and choose my responses and observe my emotions and kind of think about things before I take action. Typically, at least that's my goal. So probably about 24 hours later, I hadn't seen her in person yet, and oftentimes she's with another friend, and I wouldn't want to bring this up while she's with somebody else because I try and limit any situations that might embarrass her unless it's of high importance that it takes place right then. And even though I thought this was important, it wasn't urgent, right? There was time to do it whenever's best. Here, this is my time right there, 0024. So anyway, back to the story. So basically, I just texted her and I said, I'm not sure if I saw accurately, but it looked as though you flipped me off. And there are a couple of reasons that that's not acceptable, some of which I won't go into with you because they're not really your business. But don't do that, you know. And Dr. Phil, in one of his books many, many years ago, had a phrase that you have to teach people how to treat you. So that's kind of like what happened with this girl and the guy this morning at the fountain. He is young and inexperienced and doesn't realize that that she was being disrespectful to him in a couple of ways, and basically just beta testing him, kind of testing his manhood, even if she didn't know it directly. She was indirectly doing that. And had he reacted in such a way as, hey, I'm not going to take that picture of you doing that, I really don't think that's cool, then she may have pushed back a little bit. And you know, probably not, because she didn't have that she didn't look like she had that energy, but she was definitely testing him. And if he would have done that, then what that would have done is at least given her some indication that this guy is not just going to follow and do what everybody else is doing, and he's going to check me whenever I'm getting out of line. Because how can she respect somebody that she can just do whatever the fuck she wants, if she can just do something mildly disrespectful to him, even if it's in the guise of, you know, this is just going to be I'm just doing this to flick off my friends. And that's basically what my daughter's told me. She says, oh, I wasn't flicking you off, I was flicking mom off, and she and I joke around like that. I do that, then it's just a joke. And basically what I told her was that it doesn't matter if it's a joke or not. As far as I'm concerned, it's unacceptable. So it's unacceptable to do that with me, and it's also unacceptable to do that to your mother. So that's basically kind of how I left it. And I said, if you and her want to have some type of an agreement, then that's fine. But it's definitely not fine for me, and I definitely would discourage my wife from allowing that to be fine, for similar reasons to the issue with the guy and the girl. You know, like, it is our job as parents, and it is my job as a step parent to put my stepdaughter in a position to learn some things, learn about the nature of relationships, of communication, of expectations, of setting boundaries, of being professional, of being mature, of being responsible, of understanding how your actions and reactions and the way that you behave affects the outcome of opportunities for you, as well as how others perceive you. So like this girl this morning, you know, I would have liked to have just been able to take them and be parental to them, you know, and it's just like, well, it's not my place. But it's just unfortunate, you know, it's just kind of the teacher in me, you know, I've never been a parent of my own child, but I have been a step parent, and I have been a student of human nature. And You know, I just want to see people successful. I don't want to see people struggle and suffer unnecessarily. I much prefer the self-induced suffering. That way, whenever this random sporadic suffering occurs, then we have some tools and some exposure to being uncomfortable and deal with things the best way that we can, optimally. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this right now. And mend yourself, move, educate, nurse, decompress. Get out there and do something. And then part of this glory, part of this journey tonight is also part of the must versus should, because basically I had my bicycle with me because I was prepared, and I told my wife that my goal was sometime to go out there after midnight and ride my bike. She knew I was prepared, and she was at least agreeable, for me to do it. She didn't give me any flack. She just said, all right, be careful. And I appreciate that about her. And I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to ride. And I've been wanting to go over this Ocean Springs Bridge, but no, I just don't like doing it when there are people there. So this just kind of worked out perfect. I was like, I'll just go park in Ocean Springs and at least ride around the beach and at least ride up to the top of the bridge, which is over there. And then when I got to the top of the bridge, I said, well, I should probably ride down to the bottom. Aha, I should. So then I changed that to must. I must ride down to the bottom. And then I got to the bottom and I said, I should probably ride to the fishing pier bridge, which is what I'm on right now. And the way I got there is because I said I must ride to the end of the fishing pier bridge, and I should make a video while I'm there. I must make a video while I'm there. So now I'm going to head back because I should at some point get back to my truck, because I must get back to my truck, good Lord willing. Anyway, just wanted to add that in there. All right, mend yourself. Adios.